Hi, everyone. No, I'm all kind of bundled up today. Yeah. Yes. Hair's different. Clothes may look the same. Just saying. Not that anybody really is paying attention to what the hell I'm wearing, anyways. Welcome everybody, and thank you for joining me as we talk about my hair, my clothes. Oh, crazy. So today is $10 Friday. And it is, if you are I know I have somebody who wanted a reading who already sent, and it's Susan, um and it's her birthday today. So happy birthday to Susan. Happy birthday to all my Piscean people. And rabbit, it's March 1st. So let's bring in that energy of positivity and goodness, and don't forget to do your cinnamon. Where's my cinnamon? There we go. I got to make these sound effects. So get your cinnamon, put it in your hand, and visualize beautiful prosperity and abundance coming into your home for this month, and blow it towards your door. So do your cinnamon ritual this morning, today sometime, to bring in that prosperity and abundance for you and your family. So yes, so great day. Well, as we are waiting, well, let's see. Hang on. Is this on? Hold on. I have to take a look at something. There we go. Reset on. I noticed I'm like, why isn't there anything powering up? And I'm just like, oh, okay, gotta press the buttons, Mary, so it resets. So happy birthday to everybody. Now let's look into some of the energy as I'm waiting for Susan to come on right now. And I will be doing a email for people, and it is some key dates for March. I'm quite excited about March. Not only is it the spring equinox and the sun entering into Aries, but we have some really powerful energy coming in. We also have a full moon eclipse this month. And if you haven't purchased my workbook, look, which is $4.99, it's a PDF to work through the different energies that are coming through this month, please let me know. Email me, direct message me, and I will get that sent out to you. So a few things I'm quite excited about today. It's just like, we have the sun in Pisces and the moon in Scorpio. So it's pretty crazy, heavy duty kind of energy, very emotional energy. This is where, if with all of the water energy that is there, it is, if you had a child born today, this child would be extremely sensitive. This child would be crying like over things. I mean, maybe very sensitive where it sees, a dried worm on the side of the road, and it's just very sensitive about everything, like feeling the emotions. Now, many times with people who have a moon in Scorpio and the sun in Pisces, with all this watering, is addictions. So high in addictions. I mean, we have Justin Bieber is born today, and the addictions to drugs and alcohol that he has been working through. And it is wanting to escape, to hide away, because you weren't shown how do you work with your emotions. You weren't shown how to um, accept the feelings that you're feeling. Like, how many times have we been told, oh, will you just stop crying? You're just so overly emotional, and being somebody who's extremely sensitive. Now, my sun is in Scorpio and my moon is in Cancer. So it can be where, especially with a fixed and cardinal sign, learning to control my emotions. But when you have a sun in Pisces, it's mutable. So you can be all over the map, right? And the other thing too, it's like you have that fixed energy that comes into Scorpio where it could freeze and you could become that frozen plateau. And that's not what you want. So this is really a beautiful time to really allow yourself to go on the meditation pillow and go in to the emotions, go in and feel them. And I can hear my little air signs out there. It's like, I don't like to feel my emotions. But, sometimes there you guys can be the most emotional ones of all. But in saying that, allowing yourself to go through them, allowing yourself to have them rise up. And if the crying comes, let the tears flow because that is the washing of the soul. And it's very important because there's been so much unfolding over the last 48 hours. And as I've said to many people, that I was saying that, the X factor, the X marks the spot. And so a lot of what has transpired over the last um, the last few days has been the X factor. There's been a lot that's been laying the line or laying the foundations to a lot that's going to be unfolding for not only our year, but over the next several years. And they have been catalysts in throwing us into the mix of things. And that, including the emotions that we're feeling, um, adds to it. And we are going to be feeling and witnessing a lot of, I'm going to say, aggression, a lot of animosity, and other emotions that are going to be going up into our collective consciousness. And so, sitting on our meditation pillow, allowing for ourselves to, like even coming to, if you have taken your Reiki level 1, 2, or 3, um, being able to bring in your Reiki. If you haven't brought in your Reiki or taken Reiki at this time, this is where it's also very important to learn to decipher what is mine and what isn't mine. What am I feeling? So if I'm feeling a lot of anxiety and overwhelmness, many times I just go into my heart and sit on my just sit and allow. And is this mine? Now, your body's a pendulum as well. So when you're doing that, if standing up is great to do it, but you can do it sitting down. But just, asking, is this emotion mine? I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling sad. Why am I feeling sad? Is this sadness to do with me? And your body will like flow and it'll just start to speak to you. Is it mine? No. Am I feeling the pains of the world? And you might, your body might go forward and like, yeah, I'm feeling a lot of the pain of the world. Okay, now I can release it. I'm releasing that to the universe. I'm releasing that to my source, to my angels, and allowing for blessings to come upon it. I'm allowing for healing to come in to that. So when we start to really look into our emotions and the feelings that we're having, and allowing ourselves to sort of, instead of like pushing it down and not dealing with it, which is not a very good thing because it's going to rear its ugly head somewhere else. Somebody's going to trigger us or say something to us, and then we're going to bang, we're going to explode out on them. And we're like, that's not the reason why you're exploding. That's not the reason why you're getting mad. So allowing yourself to really feel those emotions, it's so, so important. Allowing yourself to step into those emotions, it's important so that you are able to release them. Now, if it is your sadness, and say, yeah, it is my sadness, it isn't the world's sadness, what am I sad about? Ooh, now that's getting into some deep layers. It's so easy to release what we are feeling about other people or other things or places. But when it comes to our own deep emotions, that's a whole nother kettle of fish. That's why I've started to do prompt to journal questions on my Facebook. Now I did the March ones. So I put March ones out there. In my email that I'm going to be sending out shortly is that I'm going to be putting for different astrological events. So we have a Venus that is squaring Uranus on March 3rd. So that's coming up on Sunday. And this Venus, and we're going to start feeling like you usually feel the energies, before they actually happen, right? You don't necessarily feel them on that day, but well, yeah, you do feel them on that day. But some people will start feeling, oh, why am I feeling all of this emotion and what's going on? And with a Venus squaring Uranus, now Venus is the ruler of Taurus. So Uranus is in Taurus, Venus is in um, Aquarius. So it's what we call a mutual reception. Uranus would rather be over in Aquarius, and Venus would rather be in Taurus. So they would like to switch. So it's sort of like a mutual reception, but it's a mutual reception, yet it's a square. So it's a tension of it. So you may notice where you are not embodying love. And so being kind and extra kind to yourself. This is a deep breathing and coming into the heart center. So one of the questions that I have for this is, what does it look and feel like to love from wholeness? So with the Venus Uranus energy, it is about my beliefs, it's about my values, my connection not only to myself, but my connection to those around me, because it is Aquarius. Aquarius is the energy of connection to other people's, other groups. How am I feeling into this? How am I embodying that love so that I'm able to not only shine for myself, but being able to shine for others? So it looks, so we ask our question, what does it look and feel like to love from wholeness and not from lack? And as we are embracing that beautiful, beautiful energy, we are able to really come into that oneness that is ours, that oneness that is within our truth. And as we are, the more we start doing it, the more we start to feel more grounded, more centered, and especially more heart centered in the flow of where we are projecting our energies. Now, I see there is a few people on here right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm bouncing around between my different pages. So I'm just going down to take a look at who is here. Now, if there's anybody, if Susan is here, please type out, especially if you're on the Guru Mama page or Instagram or YouTube. I can see your comments. If you're on my homepage, sort of Mary June Tracy, I can't see your comments. All right. And I am doing readings today for $10. And if Susan doesn't show up right away, because I know it's her day off, she is a couple hours ahead of me because she lives in Ontario. I will just pull some cards and she can watch the replay. So if you are interested in getting the reading, I'm just going to put up my Gmail account for taking transfers. You can do it there. So there you go. And Jenny is on. So Jenny, I'll do a reading. Awesome, Jenny. You gotta let me know that you sent the $10. I know that sounds so crass. I hate that, but that's what I do, and in bringing forth the abundance. So allowing for that abundance to come forth. So, yeah. All right. Let's see what is happening today for people. All right. And I can see a few people that are on my Instagram. Thank you so much for joining me today. Yeah, it is. It is a beautiful day. Like energetically, the energy is quite nice. It is very, it is forward moving. So I feel like this is also a day that for manifesting, for putting in, even though that there's a lot of watery energy, and with that watery energy, um, it can feel, again, it's the emotions that are happening. Even my husband came out and he goes, "I don't know why I'm feeling this way," and he's feeling very overwhelmed and, not feeling, he's not an emotional person. Well, I guess anger is emotional, but but it is where, looking at the barriers of diving deep within ourselves and looking at those barriers within ourselves. So, all righty, okay, let's see who else is here. Da 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 da. Boy. I'm kind of in the zone of um doing the readings, and I know Jenny's here. Just if you have sent um an e-transfer, just give me a thumbs up to let me know, and I can start doing the readings for you. So, okay. Just waiting. Okay, Jenny. This is from Jenny, I believe. Thank you. Jenny, can you write down your birth date? Would be great. If you can, if you're still, Jen, not sure how to do that. How to do which? To do the is okay. First of all, this is horrible. If you're from the States, just let me know. Okay. Here's the thing. I'm from Canada. I don't have Vimo. My PayPal has been hacked, so I'm working on getting my PayPal back or starting another PayPal, which is a real bitch. The other part too, because being in Canada, we don't have Vimo, I think it's called, or things like that. We don't have those things in Canada. I noticed someone did send me a transfer. I'm not sure who it was. So if they can just please let me know. Because I'm on live, I can't go back and check my check things to see who sent and who hasn't sent. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. That's how things like I don't know. So I'm just sort of going with the flow here. All right, I'll get the PDF off to you, Holly, very shortly. Jen, I think I know. I think I know. This is my Jenny from Arizona. Jen, don't worry about it. You and I will square up somehow. We'll square up somehow. I'll show up on Jen's doorstep one day and just do that. So there we go. Joyce. So this is for Holly. This reading's for Holly, and then I'll pull a card for you, Jen. Interesting. I just have to look something up for you, Holly. And I know I have your chart. Whew. Have you been feeling, I don't know, I just got a weird tingly along my, I just got a weird feeling along my right side. So, just trying to decipher that feeling that I'm having. So I'm going to take off my bracelets to make sure they're not interfering with the energies that I'm feeling right now. But I'm feeling a slight tingling on my side for you. So there's interesting feeling. Okay. So it's in your 11th house. So connections. Okay. Trying to go forward. Pisces 12th house. Ooh. So here we go. Holly, there's a few things that are coming in for you, and I think Holly left or she's getting booted out. Not at all, just drained, just drained. Okay, you're feeling drained because I just feel like it's like this. My side is feeling heavy for you, so there's a lot of heaviness there, Holly, feeling that for you. But I can see why, because you have some heavy transits going through your 12th house. And your 12th house is Pisces. So there's this a lot of energy going through your 12th house. And in this energy that's going through, this is like, this is the, and with the sun and Saturn, and plus with the gazinis that just happen, is bringing up so much emotions of understanding in the direction that you want to go into. Being a lovely Virgo, it's very like, well, almost like wanting to have it, it's like this, let me have it like this, not so much all over the place, even though, and this is opposite to you, right? So you got to think that all of this energy is coming in upon you. Now, that Gazini, when it came with Mercury and the sun coming in, now that is a flash. So that's a purification of information coming through to you. And when we are receiving the information or allowing, and especially when we have Hermes coming in as well, this information that's trying to come in for you could be feeling very muddled, very overwhelming, and trying to recenter myself and recenter in the heart direction I want to go into. And there's, then as I'm with that energy that's hitting your heart chakra right now, I just got something within my solar plexus that feels like, oh, that's, like, whoa, what the fuck? This is that, oh, what the fuck kind of thing is what's happening. So there's a little bit of uncertainty of direction, of where to go, what am I to do, and feeling that direction. But um there's also something to do with either a court case, a case coming in that is looking like it is getting settled, or things are settled. So there's a settlement or settling that's coming in with that, because they're tying it up with a red bow, so a red ribbon. So things are getting tied up the way that they need to get tied up. The card that I just pulled and just dropped out, and please don't freak out on me, please, Holly, is the Tower card. So with that is also causing a disruption. So the Tower card, when it pops out, is a card that really gets us to start looking at the foundations in our life. Understanding of what the changes that we are needing to make within our world at this time. And many times when the Tower card comes in, or the feelings that that you get is like, well, I don't know, I'm giving this up and giving that up. It's really looking at the restructuring of what it is that you want to restructure in order to go forward, taking more of the initiative of what it is that you are wanting to do. And in doing that, many times we'll say, well, I don't have time to do that, I can't do that, that's just too much on my plate, I already have so much on my plate. But the Tower card is saying that it is wanting to clear off your plate, wanting to set into a new direction, and whatever that direction is. Now, this could be that you looking at, do you want to go back to school? What is that schooling? Now, on the other hand, you're going to say, I don't have money, I can't do this, I can't do that. But there is something there that wants to take you to the next level, that wants to take you to where you can have a basis, a strong foundation, in order for you in moving forward. Now, whatever that educational piece looks like, it could be, it could be structural or non-structural, but it is something that's coming forward. And I feel like it's, but it's causing issues. So there's an issue with it. There's an issue with wanting to do it or wanting to make those changes. Now, when you make the changes, when you do it, the sun comes out. So the sun is there. There's a lot of joy and a lot of peace, but it is in that reconstruction that you find that joy. It is in looking at the dismantling, whether it is to do, and especially when it comes to your 12th house. So there's a lot of karma that's coming up and releasing that karma. And it's kind of like a cesspool. And then you have your rising sign, your when it comes to Aries. So here we have this Aries energy of like, yeah, I want to go forward. I need to strive. I need to do this, right? I need to move in a direct motion. And Aries is also wanting to get clarity, wanting to clear out. So it's almost like clearing out the swamp, clearing out a lot of goo that is sitting there. Now that goo, and I keep on getting, has to do with finances, has to do with also how you are feeling about self. How do I feel about me? How do I feel? What is my confidence? What do I need to do to step into my confidence at this time? Because I got the Tower and the Sun card. So there's something new that is coming in and motivating you and having you to create. So there's a creating. There's a creating. So something, of creating this newness. It is the Pentacles, so creating that foundation of really looking at the new structures of creating. And that could be that you have to take apart your whole spiritual of what you do spiritually. So if you do something, in a certain way, and this is the way I do it all the time, it's like, no, I'm not going to do it that way. I'm starting a new spiritual path. I'm starting a new way of doing it. Oh, I've always done my finances that way. Well, I'm going to start doing things in a different way and start looking at new ways of creating financial abundance for me. What are the side streams, or what are the things that I need to start looking at and doing? And that could be even looking at and doing markets. So what are the markets that you want to do? Do you want to start reading? Do you want to start healing? That's bringing in a little side hustle there for you. Looking at these different things of bringing in a flow, of allowing for these flows to come in these different rivers of channel, because there is definitely a skill that's there that you need to tap into. And in tapping into is really allowing for you to bring in that balance, bring in that abundance for yourself, as you're recreating. Now, I'm going to get the question, a prompt question for you to sort of look at today and really, take some time and look at the prompt questions I have also there for you. Am I ready to face my own feelings throughout stress and chaos? Okay. Am I ready to face my own feelings throughout the stress and chaos? And what have I learned from the experience? And how will I cope with these energies? So this is without the dark, there is no light. So the Tower is the complete or sudden change. So there's a sudden change, but the sudden change is going to bring in the sun. The sudden change is going to bring in a beautiful newness for you. And it's going to allow for you to see things in a new direction. So it's not bad, but the sun is how can I maintain the positive mindset and approach for my life? So as this change is happening, it's like, what is my mindset? Am I going into doubt? Am I going into like, oh fuck? Or am I going like into, oh, what a blessing? Oh, what am I learning? Oh, help me to learn this faster. Am I celebrating and rejoicing in the changes that are coming forward in the, and allow myself to celebrate all the beautiful hard work I'm doing, all the transformations I'm making? Asking yourself these questions is very important, Holly, because that is going to help to really build that foundation as things are crumbling. And this is to bask into healing and transformational healing, making an exchange with a healer in your area, contacting one of them and saying, hey, I really need some healing done. I need, something. And I have only, will you do it for X amount of dollars? Can you, whatever it is, this is getting yourself to sort of get out in a different way, but asking for that and it's guided. So there's a guide that's coming in, so guiding you to bring in those transformational changes. The square that's coming up with Venus and squaring Uranus on Sunday. So when Venus comes in and squares Uranus, that's coming into your first house. That's where Taurus is. Taurus is in your first house. I don't use whole signs, just an FYI for people. So when we look at that, it's like looking at, okay, first house is ruled by Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars. Mars is in Aquarius. So this is like, how am I moving forward? Am I moving forward too fast, too quick? Or am I allowing myself to really feel the feelings I need to feel as I go forward, as I connect to my inner growth, as I connect to my inner self? This is very spiritual because of Pisces, and where Pisces is hitting your chart and coming in to your sixth house, which has to do with your health house, which is where your sun is. So your health house is coming in. That is your house of service. How am I being service not only to myself, but to others? And Mars coming in and being very strong here, because your first house in this square coming in. How am I moving forward, but moving forward in a way that brings in, because we're going to go to Venus, brings in the love, and allowing for that love for myself and the love for others in a new way. It's a very powerful change that's coming to you, but it's not going to be an easy one, because the Tower is not easy. All right. Yes, I am Candace. I'm doing readings, $10 readings today. So it's not easy. It's not an easy transformation that's coming forth. But the sun, I mean, when you got the two major arcanas, the Tower and the sun, even though the Tower comes in, the sun is really shining this light and saying, hey, here's the pathway to make the changes. The thing is that we can be assholes to ourselves and a real dick and saying, I don't want to do that. That's too difficult. I don't want to take that. I don't want to implement that into my life, whether that is to do with changing around the financials, changing around how you work spiritually and do the spiritual work. Maybe you're being called in a different way and allowing for that different way to come in. Because a spiritual journey is just that. It's a journey. You might be doing, like, I do Kundalini yoga. So all of a sudden I may be switched to doing something else, or doing different mantras or different prayers. And at first it's like, I don't want to do that. That's so stupid. Like, that's my ego. That's my thing. And this is where it's like, okay, no, let me step in and try. And that's going to help to give you the energy in that you need to strive forward, because the 7 came up right. That's really positive. So from the Tower, there's greatness that's coming in, but there's work that comes along with that as you move forward. There you go. Okay. Hopefully, Holly, that makes a lot of sense to you. There's a lot of information that comes in. So, yes, I do have time, Candace. So, Jen, I'll pull you a card. I know you're in Arizona, and I know sometimes it's that whole kerfuffle thing. This is a month. This month is a dedication month of really promoting and pushing forward my business, things I'm doing, putting journal prompts up there for people to get journaling, to get connecting. Are we e-transferring your Gmail? Yes, TheGuruMama@gmail.com. Yes, and thank you, Candace. So it does make sense, Holly. Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. Okay. Jenny. Well, Jan, it's one of my favorite tarot cards. And I know when people see it, they're saying, like, why is that your favorite tarot card? because it is when we are stuck in a rut. And when we are stuck in a rut, the Four of Cups appears. The Four of Cups is an offering of the divine to come forward, the offering that says, hey, you're looking at everything the way it is, but there's something new that's coming in, and focusing on that newness, focusing on the positive that's coming forward with you. Yet it is extremely emotional. The emotions come in, the emotion rise. You are a very passionate woman. You have a lot, a lot, and a lot comes in, and a lot of the emotions can be, very can get very overwhelming, because you are definitely a fighter. You fight for what it is that is truth, and you fight for the underdog. That's just part of your personality, of how you've been, and what you've always done. And in that comes in a change. So the Wheel of Fortune is coming in. So there is a change that's coming in to allow, as you accept the gifts from the divine, as you accept source coming in. So that may be that you are looking, because I know you can be, because I follow you on Facebook, of some of the politicals and everything like that you're taking a change, and you're taking a look around and saying, you know what, I need to focus on this. This is my new focus. This is my new direction, because that's going to bring in a lot of beautiful, positive changes. The wheel brings in change. The wheel brings in something transformational. What is like where you've been feeling like you've been a cat chasing your tail, or a dog chasing your tail. I got a cat chasing its tail for you, not a dog. Of course, not a dog. It's just a cat, even though the dogs are there, but I see a cat coming in. I was saying, I need to really look at how am I able to implement a new directory for myself and for the community that I have built around me. And as I set that forward, and as I set into that, I'm able, thank you very much, Candace, I'm able to look into more deeply of what I need to look into. And the Wheel of Fortune asks you, how can I learn from the choices I have made? So this is really looking into the choices that you've made in your life, the direction you want to take, and looking in the new direction that wants to come in. So sometimes we are up, sometimes we are down. How can we take it all in stride? And this is where, because I feel like you're feeling the craziness of the vibrations of the change that is happening upon you and in and around you, it is where I feel, this is what I'm feeling and what I'm seeing, is like you are like coming into being a sanctuary place, a place that is going to allow for others to come or be. So like a sanctuary. And this is where you also have to look at where are you alienated? Are you alienating those around you who don't seem to get your point of view? So allowing yourself to really, it's like an opening up, being more open, so that you are not alienating so much, right? And it can be easily done, but how can you connect with this? So there's a system of love and support in your life, and it's for you to really connect with that more, because that place where you are, that place or that vibration of where you are, is allowing for this to be like almost like a sanctuary, or allowing for others to come in, to be in a place of safety and security for you, for them. And with that, it comes into that balance, the balance of receiving and the balance of giving. So there's a balance of receiving and giving. So something is constantly coming in, going out, coming in, going out, coming in, going out. And it is within the basis of the home, Now the question for the 6, I love questions, because it gets people to really think, right? So the question for the 6 of Pentacles is, how can I help those around me who may need additional support? So again, there's things to do with support, you supporting people, but not everybody's going to agree with your political beliefs. But that's part of the growth, that's part of the community, that is part of the education on both parts, and bringing in that balance and bringing in that dance and that harmony that's coming in. And this is a time for you of true inner growth and prosperity coming in, because through this opening, I got like this opening of the gate, there comes in the prosperity and abundance in and around you to help you to create more of that realm, more of that place you want to create. So there you go, Jen. Thank you. Ooh, lots there. Hi, Shar. Thank you, Shar. Hi, Derek. Thank you for the thumbs up, Derek. Good afternoon. Good afternoon and good morning. Where I am, it's still morning. So, so I haven't seen Susan yet, so we're going over to Candace. Candace. Ooh. Bringing in. So Candace. Candace. Ooh, okay. We got a jumper. We got a jumper. A lot of jumping cards. Oh my God. I'm going to have to give you an update later on my last week. Okay. Sounds good, Jen. DM me. Oh, okay. So we're going with the jumper card that just jumped out, and I'm going to start off with, am I ready to take the next evolutionary step in my career? That's what came in for you, Candace. Um, this is where expanding all of your energy and your work are being watchful of that expansion, and what and who that is excluding, because you get the 8 of Pentacles that is coming in. So the 8 of Pentacles is, there's an expanding of energy, there's an expansion that's coming in, but this is looking at to make time, like your personal interest and mental well-being is so important. So there's a mental well-being, so there's a need to make long-term goals to find a sense of balance. So this is really looking like there's this expansion, because as soon as I started getting the drums, the boom 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 for you. So I know the drum beat is like it's calling you. There's a lead, there's something, there's a pathway that's leading, but an expansion. But we don't, the guides, your guides don't want, it's like almost where not immersing you fully into it, I guess. Not, you're not like now we're throwing you in the mud. Not throwing you all into the mud and getting you all muddy. It's like, no, we're allowing, we need you to find that balance, that charisma, that approach that you need to have, so that you can explore and look at alternative ways of doing things, alternative ways of approaching, whether it has to do with your spiritual life or your personal life. What is that balance? What is that bridge between the two, and bringing that into and I just see, because I got like a circle going here and a circle going here. And of course, where the circle meets in the center is bringing in, and I got like the circle, the center is like an eye, and the eye of connection, the eye of connection of the balance between the two, and bringing that balance into, I shuffled them, but I got the wheel for you as well. So in doing that, there is that change, that rechanging of that balance. So that balance is changing, right? I've had some nasty shit coming in since COVID, and I feel I have a spiritual PTSD. So I've been scared, a scared little bunny. Yeah. So there is this change, and that's where that, of balance, what are you getting out of this in the end? And can you explore like an alternative approach to the problem? Looking at things in a different way than what you normally look at, right? And this is allowing for yourself to come back onto, and I usually say meditation pillow, but this is onto the drum, onto the vibration, onto the earth. So the drum beats the earth. So coming back to the earth, sitting upon the earth, listening to what Mother has to say. Mother Earth has a message for you, and to embrace that, embrace that of what Mother, what Gaia has for you. And that's where it's coming in. It's like we're not immersing you fully into the mud. We're just allowing for things to come in. We're just allowing for that embracement to come in, but it's important to come into the mother, into the womb, and allow for that healing to come forth, and for that vibration to be seen. And here comes the 4 cups. So the offerings that are coming in aren't necessarily, and I shuffled, you guys all saw that I shuffle. It's funny when cards are the same for 2 readings back to back, even though you shuffle like crazy. um and changing that. I would get angry and people letting this dark shit attach to them. So I'm changing that perspective. Yeah, it's because, well, there's so much there's so much there with that, of what has transpired within people. And that's a whole nother sort of, I'm going to say, kettle of fish of that darkness that is there. But it's understanding that darkness, understanding, and blessing it, and knowing it's not yours. When the 4 cups comes in, it is a hard one, because it's a hard one to bite, because it's like, I don't want to accept all of this. Like, this isn't all my shit. Like, I've, tried to tell people, or tried, and it's like, okay, I have to sort of wipe it clear, and allow for that newness and creativeness to come forward, and allowing for that creativeness to come forward. As I'm allowing for that creative energy to come forward for me, Candace, it is where, and I keep on getting, you have to go back to the mother, go back to the womb. And it's, oh, okay, go back to the womb and go into the womb healing, because there's a part of that healing for you. The womb is the birthing, where you've been wanting to birth, and you've birthed so much for so many people, that it coming back to that healing place, the place of the sacral, the place of me, I, coming back to that, place. It's not mine, but 8 don't want to deal with it. It's not mine, but I don't want to. I know it's not yours. But the thing is, when we intake, because the sacral, so we look at the sacral. So the earth, the first is our tribe, our connection to those around us. The sacral is our connection as we reach out to others. It is coming into sort of like our second tribe, our second connection. That's where we come into our connections with our friends, with families, and other families. And this is a place where we come into our abundance, our creating our abundance. And when we are looking at that connection, when we're looking at that, and how to deal with how to deal with it, like, how do I deal with this? It's like, okay, I need to allow for that releasement. So what is that releasement within my sacral that I am hanging on to? And allowing for that releasement to come forward, because it isn't yours. It isn't yours. And it isn't, but because of the love that you have, and the difficulty being a lovely Leo, having Aquarius across from you, and now Pluto's across from you. He's not it's not a direct opposition, but you've had Mars and Venus in an opposition to you, where it's like, wanting to go forward, wanting to have that courageous and having that courage, but it's it can be very difficult. It can be very difficult. A Pluto opposition, I mean, for my lovely Leo, which I have a few of them here, are going to be having a hell of a year coming up, over several years, with a Pluto opposition you. Taurus and Scorpio, of course, will have the squares, but having the opposition means that you are going to be pulled into a direction of dealing with a whole bunch of shit all at once, and still shining your light and being that courageous person you have to be, allowing yourself not to fall into um not to fall into the abyss of how humanity is falling and failing, and be the shining light that you are, and come into the balance when it comes to the well-being. The mental well-being is the most important part. Not to get into the mental anguish, which, it should be this way, it has to be this way. Yet the divine is showing you a different way and saying, you know what, it's not going to be that way. And not everybody's going to agree with you in it being that way. It's going to be in a different way. And it is within that acceptance that you create that abundance. It is in that acceptance that you are going into a new direction, and people are going to notice that, and notice that of what you are trying to give and what you are wanting to give. So sending you out so much love, Candace, because there is such, you can't heal it all. It's not up to you to heal it all. It's up to you to heal what you within yourself and within your family and those that come to you. That is that purpose. The other thing too is, and I know you already do this, I feel like you already do this, but um, because you are such a beautiful warrior, yet you are a warrior filled with with a lot of sensitivities, really honoring your energy levels and the energies around you is very important. And surrender doesn't mean giving up. That's the whole thing. A lot of times people think, oh, surrender, and then you're like, no, I'm not giving. No, surrender means that you have tools. So surrender means that, surrendering to source. You're surrendering to that of the above. That's why it's so hard to accept. That's why this is such a fucking bitch, right? This card is the bitch card, because it's saying, no, look over here. This is what you got to surrender to. This is gone. This world, this is no longer a part. So you got to surrender to this. This is the newness. This is the way. And in surrendering to that, I'm going to give you the joys. I'm going to give you what you need. But surrender, allowing yourself to do that. That's why I'm doing the prompt questions, getting people to think, getting people to look at things in a new way. I mean, I'm even doing the prompt questions myself, because it helps me to really feel and get cross that next barrier that I need to go. There's a barrier there. And I feel like you're on that barrier and you're trying to get across that barrier, but it means that we have to feel the emotions as well and go into the emotions, right? I'm okay with not healing at all. I'm my first priority, and feel like I've had this lesson in the past years. Yeah. Oh, definitely. I'm going to say 100%, but it's different. It's different. It's where in the past it was priming you to now, because of so much is hitting the fan, right? I said a lot of the X factors are coming in on the 20th and 29th. And if you look, they did in so many ways. And this is where understanding that there is a lot that's coming forth into this world and in around us, that where for you it's the help and the guidance that you're going to be giving people in order to understand the basis. So you're going to be bringing people back to the basics and learning, okay, this is how you do this is how you do that. We got to start here before we go there. And um we are, and this is a hard one, especially where you're from, and the shit that's going to happen and go down in your homeland. And the fucking shit that's going to go down there is not going to be an easy peasy thing to watch, um especially in those areas. So this is where you send the love. This is where you send, you know what you can, and focus on, okay, this is what I need to focus on here, because this is where the new growth is going to happen. So, and yeah, and the transformation changes that are going to be happening within this country as well, which is fucked up. So, but I mean, yeah, it's already starting. Yeah. And it's not even in mainstream news. That's the whole thing. Of course they're not going to talk about what's going on there. But it is, again, a devastation and a takeover, because of the ones that have this want to have that, because there's the safety and security. And it's funny when you're going into different sacred lands. But, as I say, you go back into you go back into Mother Nature. That sacredness, that land has power and retribution. And the retribution coming through. They're trying to start up a Tohunga Act again, which is like the Native Act here in Canada. So they need to, because all of the rich are moving to New Zealand. New Zealand and Hawaii. Just go figure, right? So that's where a lot of the they're selling. If you like, how many, like Oprah and all of the elites and that are selling off like their homes, and they're buying down in Hawaii, they're buying in New Zealand, and they did that before COVID as well. So they're buying in and around the islands and stuff around there. They're also, and then you have a lot of the senators that are selling off their stocks, and they're buying down there. So they know it's like, it's an area, there's an area of protection there, right? And of course, it's the same, if you look at what's going on in Texas right now. Texas is like, fuck. It's the second largest fire that they've ever had in Texas. There's a nuclear plant down in Texas that has been evacuated at this time because of the fires. And the fires were started in and around where all the ranchers were, where all the cows were, because they refused to kill the cows. Like, I don't know, maybe a cow farted in the wrong way and hit a spark and the methane gas exploded. Maybe that's, so maybe that's how they're going to blame the fires, but there is. And I think, for you, you're that, where the roots and everything are there, right? My people are starting to go back to their roots in the homeland versus staying in Auckland, which, yeah, and they have to, because otherwise it's going to get taken over. They won't have it. But you're going to see some major fires going down in that area as well, because that's how that's how they're wanting to control. So ceremony is important. Ceremony is important. Bringing forth the ceremony. That's why, a couple months ago, I did, raising the Kona power, coming in to raise the Kona power, coming into that. But many times it's, coming into that 4 cups. I don't want to see that. I don't want to deal with that. But it is something that needs to, come back to. And for you, it's also your mental well-being, because it's the pain that you take internally, and you feel it and you hold it, even though you say, I can't do that. That's not mine, and everything that went down with COVID, or the elixir, shall I say. I can't use that word because I'll take down another video of mine. Everything that went down with the elixir was, of course, the psyops and everything else that has to do with it, in what they are wanting to trick people, and to see what is coming out at this time. And the truth is coming out, even though many don't want to look at it, especially the powers that be. But going back to you, the changes that are coming in are, allowing for those changes to come forward with the ebb and the flow. Definitely. I've seen myself flying back home to fight for our ancestral, so I know it's coming. Yeah, many people are going to be called back home to do those things, to fight for what is being unfolded in this world. And it's, where you're at a time now where Your son isn't a baby anymore. Like, last time I think I saw him, he was 10. Like, he's not 10. He's a young man. He's a young man. He's growing. He's big boy. So this is also allowing for you to have that freedom, and bringing in greater awareness of the fate and potential opportunities that are coming in for you. So a lot of fated moments are coming in for you, and um, this is, I mean, this year. I feel like if you're going to be flying, or if anybody's going to be flying, this is going to be the year to fly. This is going to be the year. 2025 will not be a year that people are going to be able to just hop on flights here and there and everywhere, because it's too much. It's too much for people. So yeah. So there you go. He's nearly 17. That's crazy. No, he's 10. I'm going to keeping him at 10, because those are the pictures I saw of him being 10. But I know they all have to grow up. Oh, but yeah, it is also, how can I learn from the choices I have made? So that is learning from the choices. This is a choice I made. What do I need to learn from this? Bringing it to the mother, bringing it to the earth, bringing it into the releasement, and then I go forward. And what are the patterns that are repeating? What's repeating in my life, and saying thank you for showing me this again. Thank you for allowing me to see this at this time. What can I learn from it, and can I learn faster? I don't have to go through all the bullshit. So, but you got a lot of power, Candace. I know that. I always knew that. I've always seen it within you. It is that beautiful Leo energy that comes forth. As I'm going over to another Leo, Charlene in Moose Jaw is another Leo, the power. And that's the whole thing. And, and I'm going to say this, for many of you guys who are Leos, that opposition to Pluto, I mean, first of all, you've never had it before. This is a 250-year transit. So it's something that you've never seen before. It's nothing that you've never had before in your life. So, and Pluto is the opposition of creating something new in your life, and creating something new in your life in bringing in the uproar and the transitions and the craziness. And it's Aquarius. So it's a vibrational change. So there's a vibrational change that's coming in. And this is where, and it's electrical, it's ruled by Uranus. Uranus comes in and it's, bringing in the chaos, bringing in the mad scientist happening in and around you, as you are trying to be steadfast and courageous and go forward in the nuances of the world around you. It's like, I mean, of course, I'm going through the square of Pluto, but I've gotten to a point in my life that, come on, bring it on, baby. I'm ready for another fight. Let's get going. So, Charlene, my love, this one is for you. So, and I see Vicky was there. I don't know if she's still there, but she's another lovely little Leo too. So, bringing in the Leo family. Yes. Love all the cats. Love it. I'm a cat person anyways. More so than a dog. I love the dogs. Where'd she go? I love my dog. Oh, she's sleeping. She's so. But let's go, Charlene. There's a strength with it, so it's not so bad. Oh, definitely. There's a power. There's a tremendous power that's there, and that's coming in. Forth for it. Okay. Oh, okay, Vicky. So it's a Leo readings day today. I was going to say, fuck all the Geminis. It's Leos. The lions have come in. So allowing for those lions to come in. Yes. All right. Charlene. Let's bring in that beautiful energy for you. I know if Les is there, you could say that to him, Vicky. Do you know what Mary? Do you know what Mary just said about the Geminis? Oh, I know, I know. Okay, I'm really shuffling these up so that Charlene doesn't get the same cards. Oh, so there we go. Okay, Char. Okay, for Charlene in Moose Jaw, bringing forth this energy for you. Now, the first thing that that comes in, and of course, I don't know, it's just like I want to. I'm looking out and I'm looking around, so it's like you're looking out and around your space, and seeing, and it's like I feel like it's your store, like you're looking out and around your store and what's around, what can I be doing, what is my prospects, looking at my prospects, looking at my my grandeur, what is it that I can start to do. So I feel very much there's this energy of what can I do, where, what more, what is out there, like this is where it's like almost like you're, I got, yeah, you put them like the pause, and you're out there and you're looking at like what is out there, and it's where, um feeling what's out there, and I get the Chariot card, but it's reversed. So not wanting to go out as fast as you thought you wanted to go. Maybe there's a reverence there, reserving there. The Chariot is one of movement, but I feel like it's like if you have very little control over particular situations at this time in your life, it may denote a narrow focus. So there's a narrow focus. So this energy is coming in for you to really wanting to broaden your focus. It is, you're able to grasp the reins of your own self-confidence. You will be able to assert yourself, but it's a sense of direction again. What is that direction I want to go into? Where am I wanting to go forth now? And embracing that forwardness, embracing that direction that's coming in. Because even though the thing is that you got to look, okay, Venus is going to be squaring Uranus. Uranus is coming over and it's squaring your sign. So it's coming into a midpoint there for you. And this midpoint that is happening, that midpoint that's happening to you is squaring your Mars. Whoa. So you have Venus in an opposition to you. So Venus is coming into an opposition with you along with Mars. So you're actually having a Mars opposition with Uranus square. So this is where you're getting antsy, very antsy. You want to get up, you want to get going, you want to take like the bull by the horns. You're like, I want to get going, I want to start doing. So this is like you're almost ready to pounce, you're ready to go out. There's a aggravation that's coming in of a sense of direction, wanting to have that sense of direction, but Uranus is coming in. So you have to really allow for whatever that sense of direction that is coming in, for you to be open to the change, to be open to allowing, well, I'm supposed to be going this way, and it's going to reroute you in a totally different direction than what you thought you were going to go into. And it's going to happen very quickly. It's going to be new and it's going to happen quickly. So in come the page. Page comes in. He's new, he's nuances, the information comes in, and it is going to come in swiftly. So the air, which is Aquarius, coming in and swiftly changing direction on the things that you want to do within your store. So there could be more classes that you want to do. Maybe there's something else that you want to bring in and sell, but it's unknown because it's Uranus that is also squaring it. So Uranus, it is the unknown of that direction, which is the frustrating part, because here I am the sun. I am wanting to go into the direction I want to go into. I am following my heart, my desire, everything. They're telling, my guides are telling me I need to do this. And in comes this unknown. In comes this unknown guide that is taking you into a whole different directory of something that is even something that's beautiful. It's hippy dippy. It's beautiful. It's the Queen of Cups. So there's a lot of emotion that comes in there. There's a lot of change that comes in, but the emotion is big. But nobody wants to dampen your fire, right? And there's a stubbornness too, because you do have a moon in Capricorn. There's that moon there. It's, you're like, no. It's like, how can I put aside some time for me? So putting that time for yourself so that you can get reacquainted with the direction, and remember to be gentle with your heart in the direction that you want to go into. Because the heart wants to lead you, but it's not a forceful one. It's not out there and just being forceful. It is a very gentle, flowing river that's coming in. And it's allowing yourself to flow with the river and go into the heart of the emotions of the direction that you need to be taking for yourself and those around you. That emotion that comes in is like, you could have everything organized, because I love it, because people think, Virgos are organized. Leos are just as organized in many different ways, of taking that organization, and it gets all muddled up, or it gets all thrown around, and it's saying, okay, let me just sit here and put my hands on my heart and say, what direction do I need to go into now? What is the direction I need to focus on? And what does that look like? And what does that feel like? Because if I'm not the Queen of Cups, I mean, she's the deepness. There's a deep, deep energy that's coming forth. But I'm dealing with fixed signs. Fixed signs, you guys are kind of stubborn. I shouldn't talk because I am one as well. But this is where, am I ready to explore my interests, passions, and creative outlets? So what are your other interests? What are the other things that you love? And that could be, it's like, well, that has nothing to do with my spirituality, or that has nothing to do with this. So it could be like, oh, I love to go antiquing, or I love to knit, I love to crochet, I love to paint. Whatever it is, there's other interests that are coming in. And it could be that all of a sudden your store ends up becoming, holy shit. It's not a store that is so-called holistic store or spiritual store. Maybe your store becomes the gardening store. Maybe your store becomes the store that is selling seedlings and other things for people. So it's not what you set out it to be. So now you're selling the fairy gardens where you are the garden. Your house, your place is the garden. Doesn't mean you can't, it doesn't mean that you can't do the other things that are in there, but your direction is becoming the garden. Your direction is the garden. Yeah. You're the garden store. You're the unique one that is not like Canadian Tire or Walmart. You're the garden. And that's where it's like, holy shit, but that's not where I want to go, or that's not the direction. So that's where you could bring in holistic herbal books, plant books that aren't like what other people have. It's like the Scott Cunningham herbal book, bringing in, starters for lavender and rosemary and different things like that. That's where your store is. Out there, you got your windows. You want to put plants in there. Well, put the plants in there that you can fucking sell. These are the ones I started in my garden. These are the petunias that I started in my garden. Here's the hanging plants that I'm creating. I created them with moss, and I put a little fairy in there, or a quartz, or whatever it is, because this is the energy that goes with this plant. So your trajectory, the energy of where you were going, is not, as I always said, it's not where you think it's going. It's different. And here comes Uranus, and now it's showing me this difference of energy that's coming in, and it's the emotional one. So you got to go into the heart. You got to go into that realm and allow for that opening to come forward. So this is, there's what does it say here? It's real and won't bother with small talk and formalities. So expect to connect with people on the deepest level. So this is bringing in the deepest level of connections. This is where I got Mr. Handyman, handsome man that you have, is building boxes and saying, okay, here's a box. People can buy the box. So he's now making planter boxes, and you're selling them out of the store. So that's making another, you're making them out of, I don't know, those crate thingies that you find in the industrial area. And it's like, yeah, okay, I can make these boxes and people can buy them. But I'm not selling them at the full price of $100 that they're selling them at the garden store. I'm selling them for, I can sell them for 25. I can sell them for 15 or whatever it is. So you're selling them at a very discounted price so that, little pallets, thank you, little Mama Joe down the way who doesn't have a lot of money but wants to have raised gardens can do this. This is where you start, it's just a whole, like there's a whole, and you can make a total spiritual connection to where you start bringing in people who do moon planting and following the moon. So whole new direction. This, is taking you into a different place. And the Chariot card, when it comes in, is taking you on a whole new directory that you never thought you'd be going. Totally crazy. Whew. Hello, dear. Oh, thank you. There is salt in the laundry room. Well, no, I it's okay. No, I don't want you lifting it either. So here we are, a new direction that you're going into. Look into it. I feel very good about that. Not that it's up to me, but I do. I feel a lot better than where you are right now. So I do. That just feels more positive for you than other directions. So mull it over, feel it, go into your heart. So, all righty. Okay. On to Vicky. I was thinking about you, Vicky. First of all, I sent in my form, Vicky. If I need to send you the money, let me know. I didn't know if I sent it right away or you have to say stamp of approval and then I send it. So just let me know. I feel this is for Vicky. I just feel like it's almost like you're getting ready for the race. You know that feeling before you go on a race, you're like, whoa, I'm nervous, and you're shaking your hands and you're getting ready for the race, and this is, Vicky's like, you're preparing for this race. This race is, there's a lot. So this beautiful undertaking that you thought was just like, oh yes, I'm just going to, because I'll remember the first one. I'm just going to take this undertaking and it's going to be whatever, just whatever. Now you are becoming this little idea, this little spark that you had has grown into this bonfire. The bonfire is there. So you have this huge bonfire. And you're looking at this bonfire and you're just like, oh my God, I gotta, either I have to control it in some way. So I need to not not let it get out of control. So there's, a little bit of control factor of the bonfire because of so much that's coming in for you, so much energy and growth that is coming forth for you. Even for your store, the shine, and even for um uh, the business, the other business, it's the growth is phenomenal. Like that's going to happen this year by leaps and bounds. Um, and to keep up with it. So this is where it's almost where it's like, okay, well, maybe we can. I don't know. It's like I feel like less. It's like maybe we could just go a little bit easier with this, but it's like no, things are um, things are taking off. Like and this is where okay, we need to control this bonfire before it goes radically out of control. And and the other part too is like in with that, you got to watch for the vultures that are sitting outside the door. So it's almost like others are wanting to come in, but I feel they're vultures. I feel like they're just wanting to take and not participate or help out in some way. So being, it's like getting on the bandwagon and saying, "Yeah, yeah, we're with you," and they cause problems. So really being aware of the vultures that are around that are trying to come in and either participate. So trusting in your gut if it doesn't feel right or they don't feel right, and not feeling bad to say no, not feeling bad this doesn't feel right or what have you. And that's on both sides, right? So really honoring yourself with that, Vicky. Um, in honoring it because the thing is that yeah, the race is there and you're ready, and but it's like this spark has taken off um on you, and it's becoming a full-blown bonfire, with that. And for you, this is, you have, I mean, you're born right after a new moon. So you're born under a waxing moon. So you have this square that is happening that is hitting not only I giggle away when I look at people's charts. I don't mean to giggle away and that it's funny, haha. But this again, too, this is bringing in unexpected changes, but this is a very internal unexpected change. This is very much a spiritual change that is coming forth for you. When with that Uranus, it is sort of past that moon, but still there is a internal internalness that's coming in. So it's coming into this light because you're, being born after a new moon, especially it's only like a day or two after the yeah, you're getting into a day or so after the new moon for you. 2 days. Yeah. You're starting into being wanting to be the light, wanting to be seen and wanting to have that light. And in wanting to be seen and have that light, it's important. It's important for you to be seen. It's important for you to have that light. And this is not being afraid to be, and I don't think you ever have been, but sometimes you can be shy, but not being afraid to say, "Hey, yeah, I am that light. I am that powerhouse. I am going to be that creator of change that brings in that creative change in and around not only for my family, my business, but those around me. I am going to be that creative spiritual person that allows for this nuances to come in and allow it to grow." So almost being that spiritual hub. So that beautiful little home that you have and um that your place that you've created there is becoming the spiritual place. It's becoming the place where people are wanting to come forth. And the next thing I see, it's like, okay, I'm going to be doing, yeah, I'm doing the market, but I'm going to do a spiritual retreat. What does that spiritual retreat look like and where am I going to host it? So now we have a spiritual retreat coming in and around. So that's your next thing is having, um, like almost being a retreat center, not necessarily in your home, but somewhere in around, or maybe you have another place where people can come and stay. And then you have different activities that are happening in and around your place. I don't know if you're making a labyrinth um, walk, but I see a labyrinth there as well. So there's a lot coming in there for you, and a lot of um, big changes and that are coming in. And it's just like when you open Shine, you just thought, oh, it's just, a place for me to sell my clothing. And now it became totally something else. It just went on to a whole new directory that you didn't think it would go. And now it's taking on to another one. It's taking you on to another one. So it's like, okay, but I got to control the fire. I can't let it get out of control, so I can still have a direction in which I can go into, kind of thing. So that direction is big. So it's, yeah, looking at what works, what doesn't work, taking the positiveness, with what has happened in the past. How can I bring that forward? What can I release and let go of? So I'm not stuck in the old ways. I'm not stuck in doing things the way I used to do it. And that brings in the harmony and peace. So the lover card. The lover card is that bringing in the balance I need to have, bringing in the balance of the things I love to do, and continue to create the things I love to do. And in creating the things I love to do, allowing for that ebb and flow to come forth. And so I don't get lost in the delusions of the past, or get lost in the things that you know, the things that didn't work, or the things that, I might be festering upon. I need to release them and look at the things. Okay, this happened. This was good. This wasn't good. This was good. And this is going to bring me into the balance and the harmony of me going forward in my pursuit for not only my business, but also my health. What does that look like for my health? And bringing in that health, because in comes the night. Now the night, it's not like the page. The page comes in and he receives the information quickly, and things move and things are going. The night is saying, let's go, baby. We're not waiting anymore. We're not sitting on the sidelines anymore. We're doing it, and we're doing it now. So the night is coming in with full force for you. And that's where I feel that anxiety and that, we got to get things going and moving. So that night comes in, and he's very forceful, let's say. And he doesn't want to sit and look at the pros and the cons. He's a knight. Knights don't look at pros and cons all the time. They're very, they're very like, nope, we're going to go. We're going to do it this way. So the knights don't like to weigh things out. So this is where you are ready and open to receive the love and abundance, ready and open to receive what it is, honoring your life path, honoring what is right for you and your family, what's right for you. And the thing is, of course, your family's growing, you know, and this is like looking at what is the positive move I need to do at this time and going forward. And what does that look like? And what does that feel like? And bringing in the magician. So there's choices that are going to be made in all of this. Big choices, because it's not getting stuck in the past, but moving forward and looking at what is of value to you and celebrating this life path. And this is going to will in turn bring strength within the relationships that are around you, and the strength in the relationships that are going to be growing, the new relationships that are coming in and that you're going to be working with. But you are heading into being that little spiritual hub in an area that people wouldn't even think about. Like most people, when I say I'm going to Manville, they don't even know where the hell I'm going, putting you more on the map. But it's taking something that is very celebrating and making it new. I still see the vultures where you have to watch, because a lot of people are wanting to go onto your bandwagon, because it's a great bandwagon, right? It's a great place. But it's also watching, because you are the lion, to be the territorial person that you need to be, and sticking to the territory. And this is how I'm doing it, and I'm doing it this way. You've done very well so far, so continue the way that, continue what is the positive ones and not getting too stuck in, yes, do the growth, but don't get stuck in hanging on, well, it has to be this way, or I have to do it this way, or getting too tied up with either the nuts and the bolts, or something, too tied up with the red tape, too tied up with the red tape. Watch the red tape. So finding your true scales, like, and maintaining that overall balance. And that's what the magician comes in, maintaining that overall balance. So there you go. Whew. Beautiful. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, Cynthia. Well, I haven't seen Susan, so I'm just, and it's her birthday. I need to pull some cards for Susan. Susan, I know there's a lot of changes that are coming in, and I think you and I have sort of talked about this briefly, because you got the full moon reading, and in that full moon reading, you are a Pisces. Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. So we have, happy birthday. So let's look at, I'm just going to look at Susan's chart right now. And for her, this is where you are coming into a year, which is going to be very sensitive and emotional. And having a moon, when we look at your sun chart, where the sun was on the day you were born and everything, and where the moon, where everything is placed, we start to look at sort of the energies or the patterns that are going to be playing out for you over the next year. And this is going to be a year of really bringing in, of course, an emotional challenge. So things are going to be coming up very emotionally for you this year, very sensitive, and being sensitive to the changes that are happening, and being a witness to your sensitivity. And in that, understanding that there is a nuance, a balance in this all, a balance in receiving the information that you are needing to receive over this next year. And this is going to really blossom your, I'm going to say, your intuition. So your intuition is definitely going to be blossoming and growing this year. It is going to be a year of more freedom, less ego. So coming into the freedom that you are wanting to create. And this is where, like in your life, your relationships with others are likely to they could become confused or difficult. You may encounter persons who try to dissuade you from a course of action. So you might have influences that say, no, I want you to, you don't need to retire at this age. You need to take another year on. So this is not a good time to become involved in any kind of business negotiations or things like that. This is a time of looking at what's going to bring me the greater freedom in myself, spiritually, physically, and mentally. What is going to allow me to come into a place where I'm not attached so much to the mundane world, but coming into a flow of more of my spiritual self, and bringing that into a balance. So there's a balance. So your affairs from getting out of hand. So it's important to find that balance so things don't get out of hand, things don't get a little bit crazy. So watching your financials over this next year is very important, especially as we get into spring. Spring might bring in a little bit of an influx when it comes into finances, looking at your financial matters. Having confidence is an abundance of money or resources are back there, but you can't be foolish or do crazy investments and stuff, especially when it comes into the spring. Being a little bit more frugal with what you are doing and the sense of direction that you want to go into. There is, when you do that, there is power, and there's, it brings in where you end up having more abundance in the end, especially when you come into the end of the year. You feel like, okay, I'm really on track on the direction I want to go into, but I had to be very resourceful or not get my ego inflated or get into any grandeurs or anything like that when it comes to my financials. So being very like almost like having, where you're not just sort of blinders on the side so you don't get distracted with other craziness that goes on. It also, as we go into the spring and into the summer for you, it's a very high, exuberant, high energy for you. So that's bringing in for you to look into things that are allowing yourself to move, allowing yourself to really get into some movement, get into some physical energy and stuff, right? Um, don't listen to anyone but what feels good to you, Susan. People can take you off track. Yes. Emotion. But this is you're not helping with the emotional part, Candace. Um, but this energy of flow, of allowing yourself to come into this flow and movement, you're going to find yourself very restless when it comes into the summer, and where you want to move, you want to go, you want to get out and connecting with groups or connecting with people. So this is your connecting time to build this power of energy that you have inside. But being a year that's very emotional, don't get upset because people aren't going with you or people think you're crazy, because there is a very strong influence that's coming in, and it's probably your job that I feel that don't want you to go, don't want you to leave. They want it's like they want to sign you on for another year. I got 5 years. They want to sign you on for another 5 years. And I feel like it's like no, no, it's and even emotionally emotionally for you, like it's really going to say, well, I have to do this, or I feel guilty. Don't let the guilt, you've put in your time, right? So yes, Charlene, she says Mary, and I said yes. So the card that jumped, two cards that jumped out for you, Susan. One is celebration, and here's the celebration. So this is the celebration. They're $10. So if Debbie wants one, that's sure, just send the $10. There's a celebration of home and family, but this is also about, there's something to do with the home, something to do with either movement within the home or moving or some kind of movement within the home. So this is looking at what kind of move. I can't see you selling your house at this time. I can't see you selling it, but I can see there's more movement or something happening within the home. So there's that's going on, and that movement that's happening. But in that movement, there's also where, yeah, in comes the 5 of Cups. See, emotion comes in. First, before this is the 4 of Cups. So the 4 of Cups comes in, and it's all about God is sending you on a new direction. Here's a new opportunity, but you don't want to go. Then all of a sudden and you're just like, this new direction comes in, and it's like, fuck this. And then those three cups that you were looking at are gone. They're gone. But the thing is, you're still not turning around and seeing the new opportunities that are coming in for you. There's beautiful opportunities that are coming your way, that are coming in the direction for you. So there's newness that is coming in, but it's just so overwhelming. It's so, I just get, it's heavy. It's a heavy energy for this year for you. And you're going into this, but it's also teaching you how to deal with it and stepping into it, because you have a lot of earth in your, there's a lot of earth energy for you, and sometimes the earth energy fills in the water, so then the water can't flow. Now we get, I find like this is a year that's coming in to really show you what you need to unearth, what you need to break through from. So there's a breaking through with it all. And for you, and it's, not only with I got with this earth energy, but also with the air. So getting too caught up in the energies in your head, the direction I need to go to, it needs to look like this and blah, 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 blah. But this is saying, no, we're coming into a place where we are coming into the depths. We're moving into the depths of the energy and allowing for this flow to come in. And as this flow comes in, it's enlightening your intuition. Enlightening your intuition. Yeah. Don't fight this. I mean, the moon card and the 5 of Cups are not fun cards. So you are going through what I'm going to call, and this is the one that everybody hates me when I say this. You're going through the shamanic death and rebirth. And shamanic deaths and rebirths are not fun, but they are ones that get us into a place where we deal with the shadow. We embrace our psychic abilities. We look into our dreams and our sensitivity, which is definitely Piscean, but allowing ourselves to go into those depths and into those places. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this to you before, maybe it was you or not you, but in your travels, I would even start to even look into going into going to Peru. And I feel like there's something there for you in Peru. So either going for part of your shamanic journey, and that could be going on an ayahuasca journey and stepping into an ayahuasca journey. And you can say hi quickly. I'm doing readings right now. And doing that.
Hi.
So so that's what I feel like. There is that. And when you get, there's change, there's a celebration, but there's a celebration that comes in within the change that is happening. 5 of Cups with the moon. It's those two together can be very fucked up, can be very difficult. But in that comes great light, great insight, more connection to the root of your feelings, more connection to the truth of who you are, and releasing, all that needs to be released, because then you come into the Queen of I don't give a fuck. Because the Queen of I don't give a fuck comes in, and she allows for you to see the truth of what really comes in and connect with that of your of that. It's not the ego, but it's the higher ego, it's the higher heart energy of the direction and the truth of where you are wanting to go and then go and be. So it's a fabulous year, but it's a crazy year for you, and it's a crazy year for you emotionally. And I know you're going to say, oh fuck it, where's the bottle of wine? But if you are able to go on this shamanic journey, if you're able to go to Peru and look into, I would do a 5-day journey. Like, that's, I think you're down there for 10 days and it's a 5-day journey. So much better than a 3-day journey. And bringing in that transformation and change. It's just it's very it's going to get you to look at the world in a whole new different way, and open new doorways for you that you never thought were available before. So sending you out so much blessings, Susan. Sending you out so much blessings. Just let me write this down. 143, 14. Of course, I grab a pen that doesn't work. So I'll text you and let you know. That's when it ended. There you go. All right. Debbie. Hi, Debbie. There we go. So Debbie's my last one. So hello, Cynthia. Are you home today, Cynthia? So hello, Debbie. First thing that comes in, Debbie, I feel there's something going on either with, I don't know, I'm going all over. So I'm going to get overall health. So if there's health issues that are coming in, and things to do with health. So working from home today. Yay for working from home. Love working. I work from home every day. I'm not sure how old you are, Debbie, but there is a lot. I think to do with your health and balancing health. Health is coming in quite, um, it feels like there's an overall health. So looking at your overall being, your overall wellness is very important. And what that overall wellness is. Let me see if I can get this closer. Phone's going to die. Here. There you go. Just different direction. There we go. So hopefully it doesn't fall, but I have to, my phone is going to die, so I had to move my phone. So I'm going to be looking like this at both of you. So this is, I feel like this overall health energy that's coming in for you is looking at the balance of how you're taking care of yourself. What are the things that you're putting into your body and the nutrients that your body needs? This is also has to do either, I don't know if you're feeling foggy or your head feeling foggy at this time, and what that fogginess is. So there's a little bit of fog that's coming in. I just feel like it's a clearness. So let me know if that feels right for you, Deb. I just like I like people to give me clarity too as I'm doing things. So pull you some cards. And if you're also feeling, with that fogginess could be that you're feeling kind of stuck, or if you're feeling stuck in the direction that you want to go into, or you're feeling, yeah. And I got a ho hum kind of thing. So it's now that your angels are wanting to give you a push. Now in that overall wellness and in that ho hum feeling. Yeah, it's getting you. It's like almost where I want to put you in a yoga class or a beginner class. It's or swimming or yoga, or not yoga, swimming, aerobic swimming or something, getting you active. So it's like I want to get you moving. I want to get you flowing, allowing for some flow, some movement to come within your body, because that's going to move things out. It's going to move things because you're getting very stagnant, and I need you to start moving. I need you to start walking, or I understand it's winter. I know the weather is crappy. Well, it's crappy here. So, but finding some, it's springtime. Spring is happening. Registering for a some class to get yourself motivated and get yourself going. That's going to help the cobwebs. The other thing that keeps on that comes in is fish oil. I got krill oils coming in, which move beyond the barriers of the brain. So it gets into, and it gets things really moving on the barriers of the brain, and what that looks like. Just one second, Deb. Sukanya. Yes, I am doing readings. They're $10, and you can send the $10 by email to thegurumama@gmail.com. So if you're wanting a reading, so this is very much more of a health thing for you, and looking at your health. If you could just write what your sign is. So yeah, so we got the Emperor reversed. So the Emperor reversed. So she's a Leo too. So we got another Leo. It's a Leo day. Yay. Just on a side note, I'm a Scorpio in the 5th house, which is a Scorpio with in the Leo house. So that's why I'm so fucking nutty. The Emperor reversed. So going in the direction that you want to go into. So you got some blocks that are happening there. Of not wanting to go. So there's a very much a stubborn mindset, shall we say, which might be associated with, either overbearing or authoritative, or a lack of inner spiritual connection, or you're feeling that you're not getting that inner spiritual connection, or you want to have more of. So there's where if you are seeking more flexible or non-conformist, it's coming in and really speaking your truth. The beautiful thing, with Leos are funny because Leos are to be loud and boisterous and out there. They are. You are a lion. You are supposed to roar. You're supposed to allow yourself to be seen and not to be afraid to be seen. Your fire, not to be afraid of your fire and your passion inside of you. But I understand, because we all have the other complexes that are within our sign that can dim our light and allow that light to be dimmed. But this is where it's like, where do my strengths lie? Like, where are your strengths? Let me work on my strengths. Let me work on that innerness and allow myself to shine and manifest my goals, and allow myself to manifest my goals. And Debbie, there is a energy, a passion that's coming in that really wants you to get out and go and get out and be seen. But somehow there's a fear that I don't want to offend. I don't want to upset. I don't want to have an argument. I don't want this. I don't want, fuck it all. Because that's causing you greater strength, greater issues within your body, because you're not being the truth of who you are and stepping into it. That's why there has to be a movement and a flowing, and allow for that flow to happen, because in comes the star, and the star is definitely a balance of what that balance is and what that balance looks like. And the star comes out after the Tower card. So in comes this beautiful star to connect with my inner voice of inspiration, allowing me to connect to that beautiful energy that I know I have, and bask in the expansive of my energy, and connect with the truth of who I am. And how do I do that? I got to get out and move. I got to start taking care of my overall health. How do I take care of that? Well, I joined some movement program. I joined a aerobic aquatic thing, or yoga, or whatever it is. And you might say, well, I can't do that. I got this, I got that, whatever it is. You can make up whatever you want, but in order for you to bring in a good balance of creativity, work, and soulful aspirations, while pointing you to a pleasurable interludes, allowing you to experience the pleasure of being connected with your body and being connected with the oneness, being connected with that truth of who you are. It's so important, because that's going to allow for the new growth, new ideas, new inspirations to come in. And when you do that, yeah, the wand is reversed. So you got to do that, because your passion is being blocked. So whatever is blocking your passion at this time, what's blocking you from being that truth of who you are? And that's usually one's own self. We block ourselves from being it. We block ourselves from allowing ourselves to do it. And there could be where I have unrealistic goals, or I have crazy expectations, where I think I should be, where I think I should be doing. And this is a good time to review your plans, a good time to really look at the things that I need to look at in order for me to move in the direction of the dreams that I want to do. Taking a moment to focus on my hopes and dreams, taking a moment to say, yeah, this is what I want to do. I want to feel healthier. I want to feel brighter. I want to feel more interactive. I want to start teaching other classes. I want to teach something, whatever it is, whatever, spiritual thing you want to teach. If you want to teach, what makes you blissful and happy in life? That's what's coming forth, because there's a big block there. And that's what's causing the overall issues. The block is that you're not allowing yourself to be blissful and happy in the truth of who you are, and allowing your voice to be heard loud here, loud and clear and beautiful, the way a true Leo should be heard. There you go. Whew! Such passion, such passion. Why I did not know about the readings. Erica. Well, I published it everywhere. So I put them out everywhere, that I was doing readings and stuff today for $10. So that's what I was doing. You are so welcome. So welcome. I'm hoping that made a lot of sense for you. I hope that makes a lot of sense for you. So there you guys go. So thank you, everyone, for joining me today. a couple things. I just wanted to go over, because I had a few people write me and say, you said there's going to be an X marks the spot kind of thing. There's my Medusa hair. X marks the spot. So, um, a couple things that did come up over the last couple days that are going to be the basis for the year coming up, and next couple years that are coming up. One was NATO, in saying that they're moving so many troops. Germany said no because that was the start of World War II, and but of course, France wants to go forward with that because he's the new Napoleon, Morocco, or whatever his name is, and Putin's moving nuclear tanks at this time, nuclear weapons at this time. So he's moving that. Trudeau, our lovely prime minister, has come out with information on him. And some of the information has to do with a lab that was in Winnipeg, and definitely that has been under investigation. But information that he was leaking with and working with the Beijing government, Chinese government, and working with the Chinese government. And so Pierre came out and with a lot of this information and allegedly, with all the information about Trudeau. Now, I don't know how that works within our parliamentary system and how that works, but the unfortunate thing is that we still have Turban Boy with our prime minister. Otherwise, he would have been ousted a long time ago. But I think with this information coming in, could actually put Turban Boy into some crazy, information. But as I said before, looking at Trudeau's chart, there's shit that's going to happen, and it's going to happen a lot when it comes to near the end of the year, September, October, November, when Pluto goes back into his into Capricorn, and so a lot more is going to start hitting the fan for him. So we are starting to see craziness and other things being set up for the changing. A lot of the changing of the guards will be coming in with that. What happened in Gaza Strip? God bless the people, and everything to do. And even with the pictures that came in and stuff with the Gaza Strip, it just don't understand people jumping onto the trucks and everything, what that was all about. And I know people are starving, people are wanting food in the areas, and that is just going to, well, the Free Palestine movement is just going to take off and running. It's just going to get crazy, and that's another playing part into our World War III. So these are, and the Texas fires, which is happening. So it's a destabilization of the world as we know it. Those are the plays, and that are the X's that they're unknown, but watching what was happening over the last few days are just like, okay, all of this is playing a role, right down to the socialites and the elites selling off shit, and selling their homes, and different, people selling their stocks, all the big senators and that selling their stocks and stuff. So that's sort of the big thing that's going on in it, within the world. And so that's setting the tone. And in saying that and setting the tone, yes, that brings in emotions and a new way of thinking, where we are and I are going to go into a because we're going to go into a war economy. We've never been in a war economy in North America since World War II. So what that looks like and what that means, that means there's a lot of restrictions that are going to be coming into the way we spend our money and everything else. So it is a place where we have to come into a place of spirituality and centeredness and surrendering to our higher divine, and walking that surrender, walking into that reverence is going to be very important. And it doesn't mean that you're a mat to be walked all over. So just an FYI. So in saying that, so sending you guys out so much love. I know I didn't want to end up on that note, but it is where the energies today, and even as even though we're coming up to a square with Venus and Uranus, it's coming into a place of the heart and coming into that place where we have been shown that we really have to come into that place of trusting within the heart, trusting in that guidance that comes forth, and really watching our emotions as they rise up and where the emotions are coming from, as I stated 2 hours ago. so there you go. Thank you so much for everybody joining me today. Thank you for so many people participating today and sending you guys out so much love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will definitely be doing this again, so don't worry. I'll be doing it again. It's usually on a Friday. But sending you guys out so much love, and may the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say and all that you be and all you do. Allow your life to be God bless.